I'm willing to bet that you agree infinity mirrors are pretty cool, right? With 3 simple materials you can make beams of light or even a ladder appear as if it goes on forever. But let's be honest, they're in need of a new twist, and it made me wonder, what else can you make look like it stretches into eternity, and what if it was alive? And I thought this would be pretty simple. I just needed a glass case with a mirror at the bottom, and so long as I made it watertight, I'd be sorted. But while doing some research into whether or not this was even possible, I unsurprisingly couldn't find anything about living organisms inside of this illusion thing. So this was a bit of a warning sign because I knew there were probably reasons for this. I just didn't know what they were yet. It was during a small sort of prototype that I stumbled across the first challenge. The problem was that I needed a way to stop dirt, water and bugs, I guess, from getting on the mirror while still being able to see everything at the same time. And this is a major issue because if the mirror isn't perfectly clean, then that imperfection is sort of reflected back and forth, multiplying the dust or water droplets until you literally can't see. So the plan was to actually use the glass case to keep everything out and build the terrarium around it. And I wanted the external box to look weathered and rustic so that the plant life didn't seem out of place. And what I'm using for the one-way mirror is some cheap glass tint I bought online. Then I'm using some soapy water to prevent the film from sticking until I push all the air bubbles out. Then after the air and soap has all been squeezed out, it then allows the film to stick cleanly on the glass surface. And after trimming off the excess with a razor, that was the lid all done. The plan to keep all the water in the system was to use a bin liner because it's quick and simple, plus I won't be able to see it anyway. I also wanted to build a stand that added to the worn down, overgrown style with the vines looking like they're sort of growing out of the ground and lifting the box up, making the tunnel illusion look even more confusing with the gap between the bottom of the box and the floor. I knew I couldn't add much dirt to the system, but I still wanted a drainage layer to store water, so I crushed some charcoal and put a thin layer at the bottom which should also act as a filter. So I decided to use mostly thin sheets of moss for this experiment because I wanted to see if plants will actually survive off the small amounts of soil and just the artificial lights I have. And it's super hardy, so I figured it was my best bet. I'm using an outdoor LED strip for the lighting. I think this one's made for garden walkways. Then I ran into the second major issue, which is that while it's transparent, the glass becomes quite obvious because you can still see the bright lights reflecting off of it, which makes the walls look kind of 2D. So I decided to use a few pieces of artificial plants to put inside the glass and hide the reflections a bit better. Once I was happy that there was no more water or dust inside the glass box, I sealed it off with some clear plastic and tape. This should still stop debris and water from condensing on the mirrors, but is easily removable in case I decided to adjust a few things. And after screwing the rim pieces back on, that was everything all done. So every band of light you see is about 60 centimeters apart. While the camera doesn't quite pick it up, it looks like a void you could literally fall down, which is pretty cool, and I'm really happy with how it turned out.